Okay, we're gonna start with how did you two meet?
Let's see, Luke and I met at Cross Life, at the student ministry we both attend on campus night, actually. So we were at MSU. He was posted up by the door with a group of his friends, and I was with my roommate, and I was like, hey, I need to leave because I need to go do homework. And so we were trying to walk out, and yeah, he was by the only exit. And he stepped out in front of me and was like, hey, I'm Luke. And I was like, I don't have time for this. But ended up talking about his truck and dirt bikes and stuff like that for probably 30 minutes, which I did not foresee coming.
So even though you didn't have time, you made some time to talk to him a little bit.
I did. I did. I had noticed him before at Cross Life, but never talked to him before that. So, yeah.
Awesome. He said you were into his truck, and that was a good
Yes.
sign.
Yeah.
So how did that kind of evolve from there? Like, at what point did things start feeling serious?
Yeah, things started feeling serious, honestly, probably a few weeks afterwards. We found out that the night we met that we had a class together. So he actually got my phone number the next day in class, and then called me like 3 hours later, and I watched it ring. I was like, I am not answering that. This dude's already calling me. Um, but anyway, we ended up actually going on a hike that night in the rain, in the dark, and I didn't have cell service. Wouldn't recommend, but I think looking back, it's a great story. Um, And then we just kind of started hanging out more, getting to know each other. Yeah, sitting next to each other at church and in class, went hunting and on a couple hikes. And yeah, honestly, it was probably, we started dating or officially dating probably 3 or 4 weeks after we met. At which point I called my mom and I was like, I think you need to come meet this guy. So, yeah.
So when you started dating, did you already kind of have a feeling like this might turn into something even more serious?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a cliche of when you know, but just based on who, like, I knew actually his sister for 2 or 3 years before I ever met Luke. So I knew him by reputation. I was like, well, if he's Nikki's sister, how bad can he be? So knowing that, and then just the few weeks that we were hanging out, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, this guy's legit. So
Was she stoked that you started dating her brother, or was she like, that's kind of weird?
oh, Nikki was so excited that I started dating Luke. I don't even know. She might have been more excited than I was even. And I was pretty excited. But Nikki's just, I mean, the nicest, most bubbly person ever. So she was very excited.
Awesome. He told us his story of how he proposed to you. It sounded like it was kind of an elaborate plan. What's your perspective of this?
The proposal was pretty elaborate. I kind of had a feeling it was happening on the day that it happened just because about 2 weeks before that, he was like, hey, you want to go to Yellowstone for the day? And I was like, since when do you plan things 2 weeks out? So that was kind of suspicious. And then a couple other factors that week. When on Monday, my mom was like, so what are you doing this weekend? And I'm like, it's Monday. So that was kind of suspicious to me. But yeah, so we were going fishing at the Yellowstone. And I kind of had a feeling it was happening. And I guess the other side of the story is the letters. He had been writing me since January. Which I didn't know it, but like the first letter of each letter that he wrote me, he was literally spelling out, will you marry me? I had no clue. And so when we got to the river, he gave me the last letter and I had a feeling like what it said. And so it was like the last letter. And at that point I had kind of put it together because it was like me with a question mark, like, why me? But then at the bottom of the letter, it was like, P.S., put all of the letters together to spell out the message. And I was mad, honestly, because I was like, you did not tell me to bring the letters. I was like, I brought this one because I hadn't opened it and you told me to bring it. But the rest of the letters I didn't bring. And he was like, oh, sorry, I thought I did. And I was like, dude, what? So we started fishing and I was fishing. And I kept changing my fly, moving upstream. And he was like, hey, you want to go up there? And I was looking upstream and it was rocky and shallow. And I was like, why would we go up there when there's a deep hole right here? I was like, no, I don't want to go up there. He was like, okay. So he just stood there watching me. In hindsight, I do feel bad about it. So I changed my fly again and he's still just sitting there. And I'm like, he's like, you want to we're not catching anything here. You want to try up there? I was like, fine. So we're walking up and I see this thing sitting on the bank and I'm looking at it. I'm like, what? And I couldn't really tell that great what it was, but as we got closer, I was looking at it. I was like, is that tailgate? And he's like, that's weird. And then we got closer, and I was like, that's Felix's. We call it Truck Felix. I was like, that's Felix's tailgate, because he has two tailgates, the original one and then a new one that he bought. And turns out that the day before, he had called my roommate Ella, gotten in the apartment, and gotten all of the letters. And so that night, he was up till like 3 a.m. at the river, put all the letters magneted on the tailgate, carried it down to the river, and flipped it over. And then we got down there, and he flipped it over, pulled that last letter that I had brought that morning, and then put it on there so it spelled out, will you marry me? And then he got down on one knee, and I dropped my rod real down in the dirt, which I was like, that's how I know. That's how you know I love you. Because my fly rod went real down in the dirt. So, yeah. And that was the rest was kind of a blur. Yeah.
That's such a good story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cute.
Yeah.
She mentioned the same thing. You said she dropped her reel.
I did. I have a picture of it in the background where it's my fly rod, which I got for Christmas like just last year. So it's like basically brand new. My brand new reel online is face down in like the silty, Yellowstone River dirt. It's like, I love you. This is proof. So kind of funny.
We also asked who's better at catching fish.
Ooh, who is better at catching fish? That's a loaded question. Honestly, probably him. Like, I have nicer tackle to a degree, but
We'll have this talk about it in a second. All right.
I'll just restart that one.
Yeah.
Who is better at catching fish? I think that's a loaded question. I think I have better tackle, but I think Luke's better at catching fish, unfortunately. But I will admit that. We do have a running bet going, and I think he is currently up on me, which is unfortunate, but the season's not over. So we'll see.
You told us about the dollar thing.
Yes.
How are you feeling today? From waking up this morning to now, how have things kind of been unfolding for you?
Yeah, I feel right now it's definitely hitting me more. When I woke up this morning, I think I was too calm, which is great, but I just don't think it had really sunk in yet that I was getting married. It's just still so surreal, but I think being in the salon with all the bridesmaids and my mom and getting my hair done and makeup and being in white PJs and seeing my dress and you guys being here, it's like, oh, this is happening today. So there's maybe a touch more nervousness. I don't really know why, but definitely the excitement from 10 a.m. to now has tripled. So yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's a plus.
I don't know why we get nervous either.
I know, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
That's just something you've been thinking about for a long time and kind of building up to. How have the past 2 weeks been leading up to this for you?
The past 2 weeks have been crazy. Just with starting school and had 3 quizzes this week and multiple assignments due, so that was fun. On top of the last minute detail stuff that I didn't realize needed to happen until I was like, oh yeah, I never followed up with that. Oh, I didn't follow up with that. And then just moving, and then family getting in town, bringing more furniture up, which is great, but the past 2 weeks have been exhausting. All good things, all such blessings, but exhausting.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if we contributed to that at all.
Oh,
I'm having a hard time getting in touch with us.
Not your guys' fault.
So yeah, those things always happen at the worst time with our email going down. And
It was email not delivered. I was like, what do you mean not delivered? I'm like, I've never seen that notification in my life.
Was there a moment that you realized you were in love with him?
Ooh, was there a moment I realized I was in love with Luke? I honestly don't know if I can say there was one specific time that was a big aha moment. I mean, maybe we went hunting on November 2nd, which I don't come from a hunting family, so I'm all for it, but it was new to me. So we had been hunting a few times before that during archery and then rifle season, and yeah, he was going out trying to fill his deer tag, so we went to an undisclosed location, and I actually saw them first, a herd of does, and we were like, oh, there's got to be a buck in here somewhere. So we're scanning, he's glassing, and then I'm like counting all of them, and I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm like, there was not 6 like 10 minutes ago, and that was the buck. So anyway, after when he was like, you need to sprint up this hill and down the ridge, I was like, yeah, and then he took off running. I was like, I did not realize he meant literally. I was like, I thought I was in good shape. I was not in good shape. But anyway, yeah, he dropped that thing with one shot. I didn't even locate it because the does took off running at one point, and I was like, oh, game over. And then he pulled the trigger, dropped it with one shot. And when we got down there and he looked at it, pretty nice mealy, and he just looked at me. He's like, praise the Lord for this. And I just looked at him and I was like, oh my gosh, like that was maybe a moment. Like I knew I was in love with him before that, but that was one moment that I was like, this amazing epic hunt, and like the first thing he does is turn it back on the Lord. I was like, yeah, I love you.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was pretty clear with his interview too that like your faith is a huge part of your relationship, and I think that's a big part of the reason why he was attracted to you in the first place is that you hold that so close too.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about that some more? Like how does your faith like play out in your relationship? How does it kind of give you more strength and hold things together and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think our faith and just love for the Lord it's the center of our relationship. Because, I mean, 2 can go for a while by themselves, but 3 is what makes it last. And I think I know to both of us that was the number one requirement in our spouse, is that not just a Christian, but a truly, for me, a man of the Lord. And that, for him would be a woman of the Lord. Not just somebody who goes to church on Sundays to check it off the list, but somebody who truly lives for the Lord and has a desire to grow in Christ likeness and invest in his kingdom and further his kingdom. And that was evident with Luke right off the bat. Actually, our first date, less than 24 hours after I met him, we had barely made it like 15 minutes down the road in his truck before he was already asking me, like, what does my faith look like to me? What does the Lord mean to me in my life? And that was like the biggest green flag. So I was like, okay, obviously it's a priority. It's not just like, well, I'll get to know her, and if I like her, great. And then if she happens to be a Christian, cool. If not, maybe not. But the fact that was obviously number one on his list, I was like, well, clearly that's number one on his list, and that's number one on my list. So, and just everything he does is just the way he loves and treats me and cherishes me. I'm like, how do you do that so well? Because I know I don't reciprocate that all the time, but I know he truly does that out of his love for the Lord, and so yeah, pretty much the center of our relationship.
It's a good foundation to start on, that's for sure.
Yes, the best.
It's funny that you say you don't reciprocate that, because he kind of said the same thing, like you're too good for him, he's too good for you.
Yeah, he lies. He's way too good to me.
Well, that's a good place to start from too, then.
Yeah.
You both feel like you're too good for each other. What are you looking forward to most about being married?
I think I'm most looking forward to just doing life with him, and which, I don't know, might sound cliche, but just everything, just like waking up in the morning and not having to text or call him and be like, how'd you sleep? But just like waking up together, being like, oh, hey. Just getting to do the mundane things, getting to cook and do the dishes and do laundry together. And yeah, we're both kind of excited because we both think we'll have more time actually to like go hang out with other people, because right now it's basically either I see you or I see somebody else, because there's just not time for both.
Yeah. 5 seconds. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we're as excited for the mundane things as we are for the fun things going. I mean, everything we've been doing. Well, we haven't gone camping, so I'm excited to go camping with him. We can finally, sleepovers are unlocked. So camping and fishing and hiking and just shooting, hunting, like just being ridiculous together and just having fun through all of it. It's exciting.
It sounds exciting.
Yeah.
What are some traits about him that you admire most?
Some traits about Luke that I admire most. I mean, God, there is a list. But I think probably foremost on the list is just his humility. He is very talented and very good at a lot of things, and he does not boast, which is an area that he pushes me to be more Christ-like. And the things that I have pride, that I'm prideful about and boast about, he does not. And that's just one thing I love about him, is that he doesn't need to be the center of attention. He doesn't need to make sure that everybody knows that he's amazing at this or amazing at that. He is truly content just being there without having to make sure that everybody knows that he's like crazy good at the guitar, which he is. But honestly, many people probably don't know that about him. So I love his humility, his gentleness, but yet he's just so strong. I mean, yeah, the way that he loves and cherishes me, his patience with me, like, holy cow. I'm like, I don't know how you handle me. I'm like, coming from me, I don't know how you handle me sometimes. And my hangriness, I'm like, shocking. So his patience, yeah. Just his overall calm, and I get very frazzled and anxious very easily, and he is just does not get frazzled or anxious about anything, which balances me out. We like to joke that I keep him on the balls of his feet, and he keeps me on the flats of my feet. So we kind of balance each other out nicely there, but it's such a blessing that he's not easily stressed out about anything, and that he's very logical and can talk me down when I freak out about something that I have zero control over. So definitely love that about him too,
Nice.
among other things.
Was there anything that you found unique about him, like when he was first out there waiting for you, and when you guys like had that first conversation? Was there anything that stood out about him that was kind of like, oh, this guy's a little different than other guys that I've met, or anything like that?
I think one of probably the first unique thing was that he literally just cut me off from leaving that room. I was like, who are you? I was honestly kind of impressed, because it's like that took some courage to do that with a girl you've never talked to in your life. So that was pretty unique. After that, I think, I don't know, just the combination of his character, his humility, but also just that he's very talented at a lot of things, a lot of variety of things. Like, obviously, he's kind of the classic Montana hunting, fishing, dirt biking, but like he fly fishes as good as he bass fishes, and shreds the electric guitar as much as he can shred the acoustic guitar playing a country song. So there's a lot of unique things about him.
Yeah, I like that. Describe your ideal future together. If you think like 30 years down the road, what kind of life would you like to be living with him?
If I could pick our future 30 years down the road, definitely would be more in love then than now. But that's cliche. But still just having fun together, being goofy together, living for the Lord first and foremost. But I mean, we dream about having some land to have cows and chickens and pigs and raise a bunch of our own meat. And I want to get into canning, and I already love baking and making everything from scratch. So I guess basically a mini homestead would be fun. I know, and he also wants all the equipment, all the tractors and combines and stuff that's like way over my head. I'm like, okay. I'm like, if I can have a horse, you can have a combine. Horses too. I didn't think I mentioned that, but horses that we can go riding, go packing in the backcountry, go hunting with. That'd be really fun.
Seems like a fair trade.
Yeah.
Horse for a combine.
Yeah. I'm like, at least the combine's pretty much down payment. Horses are down payment and then some.
Yeah. Is there anything? Actually, we'll save that one for last. Is there anything that you're looking forward to most about today? Like, what do you think is going to be like your favorite part of today?
I am really looking forward to walking down that aisle today. Part of me is nervous because I think there's going to be a lot of tears. I know there'll be a lot of tears on his end. I'm going to do my best to keep it together, but we'll see. So very excited for that, but also really excited for our first dance. But then dinner, and then just partying with all of our favorite people afterwards. So that was extremely vague, because that's basically saying everything.
Hey, everything's a good answer.
Yeah, it works, I guess.
Yeah. Are you happy with that, or do you want to say anything else about it?
Honestly, I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah.
So then this one's kind of like a direct message to him. Is there anything that you want to say to him right now, just before you're about to get married? And look right into
Yeah.
the camera as you say it.
Luke, we have, I think under 3 hours now. This is the last time that you'll see a recording of me as your fiance before I'm your wife and you're my husband. And I'm already getting choked up. And I can't wait. I mean, it, like, in the scheme of life, we haven't known each other very long, but I feel like I've known you for eternity, and I can't believe that the Lord is blessing me with you as a husband, as a Lord willing father, just somebody who's gonna protect and provide for me and our family, somebody who's gonna cherish our family, but ultimately somebody who's gonna keep the Lord at the front of our family and lead our household in that way, lead our household on a firm foundation, and lead our household to be more Christ-like. So that's just a few hours away, and I can't wait to start the rest of my life as your wife. I love you.
Beautiful. Is there anything else you want to go over for your interview before we read your vows?
I don't think so. I
Okay.
think it's pretty good.
All right, so you can read those. This is more importantly just about getting audio.
Sure.
But if you can just look up at the camera like every once in a while.
Okay.
When you're done reading a sentence or anything.
Sweet. 1 year ago today, I had known you for 2 whole days. And today I stand before you as your bride and you as my groom. I know eyebrows have been raised when people find that timeline out, but as the cliche goes, when you know, you know. And I know. I know because of the man you are before me, the way you love me more than I thought possible, love me more than I've ever loved myself. But more than that, I know because of the man you are before the Lord, the way you love him, serve him, invest in his kingdom. I know because I know your love for me isn't just a fleeting emotion, but rather a choice you've made before the Lord, and a choice you make evident to me each and every day. In the way you serve me, encourage me, and love me, and I couldn't be more excited or more blessed to get to walk this life with you as my husband. So Luke, I vow to choose you each and every day. I vow to recognize the gift you are to me, a gift so undeserved. I vow to be your gentle rock, your person to lean on, confide in, and grow with. I vow to respect you, to submit to your leadership. I vow to uphold you, to encourage you, to uplift and support. And I know I will fall short of these things, so I vow to ask your forgiveness, to recognize my mistakes. I vow to learn with you and from you. But I also vow to keep beating you in cribbage. I vow to be your forever adventure buddy, be it the Rocky Mountains, the coast of Portugal, or anywhere else in the world. This includes dragging a deer for what felt like 47 miles, polar plunging in alpine lakes in the dead of winter, and staring in awe of God's creation while we star watch. I vow to eat the snacks you present as a peace offering when I'm hangry. I vow to never stop smiling, laughing, and having fun with you. I vow to keep arguing over who loves who more. And I don't think we'll ever stop that argument. Because you love me like Christ loves us. Enduring, sacrificial, intentional. And your love for me is never something I've had to question, even for a moment. So today, I vow to love you like Jesus loves. To be your biggest helper, cheerleader, and to keep pushing you towards Christ as your wife.